All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You have put your children in not a good place. You know why that is? Because their father has probation as a felon. I don't think any of your children that were born were saying, hey, I would love to have a father who has a felony probation. So you're going to have to do better, because you know how children learn by looking at and mimicking what other people do. And if you don't want your children to end up coming into a felony court on charges, telling that judge, well, you know, I had a hard life, my father kept picking up felony charges, then you had better change your life. You understand?
Yes.
Vince?
Lindsay Shaw for Mr. Williams.
Are you Mr. Williams? All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Williams, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you the true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of evading arrest detention with a vehicle? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Williams, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and counsel, Mr. Bonk is listed as the attorney of record. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm an associate with Mr. Bunk, and Mr. Williams is aware of that.
All right, do you have any objections to her going forward with this plea?
No, ma'am.
All right, court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's to be a $400 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. This is to run concurrent with 705-180. They're taking in consideration the following night mag numbers: 705-034, 705-032, and there's to be a destruction of the firearm in 705-180. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State Exhibit number 1.
No objection.
All right, state, you may continue to confer. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, Mr. Williams, he just turned 20 on January 27th, I believe. He's working full-time for Amazon. We just asked that the court follow the plea bargain. If I may speak to community service hours, because he's young and working full-time, if the court would be willing to probate some of those community service hours, we'd ask for that.
All right, and could you let me know what the court costs are in this, please? 325, thank you. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
3,
What are their ages?
6 months. And then
Oh, are they triplets?
I have twins and I have one
So 6 months and then what?
3 months.
I'm assuming this is not the same mother.
No,
How far did you go in school?
graduated.
So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life other than having children and picking up cases?
I'm gonna get enrolled in real estate.
All right, I can tell you're from the staff. Are you originally from San Antonio?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any family support?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's your family support?
My parents.
His father's
Oh.
here with him today.
Hi. I'm doing great. So when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
When's the last time you used?
Last time.
Here's the thing, you need to be honest with me because where we're starting at now is both parties have agreed to you having deferred, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm trying to see what the best conditions are for you. So don't be honest with me because you are going to get drug tested. I know they probably drug test at Amazon, but usually people know when the Amazon drug tests are coming. So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive.
And what are you going to be positive for?
Marijuana.
When's the last time you used?
The beginning of the month.
And did you let your father know you were using?
No, no.
You have 6-month-old and twins who are 3 months old, and you're using marijuana. I hope you're not riding with them in your vehicle with the smell of marijuana. You understand? That's not good for children when they're developing. I don't care what people say about marijuana, it messes with their brains. Their brains are still developing, and you know what else is developing? Their immune system. You're going to have to do better. And if you don't do better, you're not going to do well on the probation in this court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you live by yourself or you're living with your parents?
I live with my parents.
All right. I'm going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. If you complete everything soon, you'll be off soon. $400 fine, that will be probated. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Random, regular UAs. And probation, he'll need to be tested for levels. destruction of the firearm. And cause number 705-180. This is run concurrent with cause number 705-180. Take in consideration NIMAG number 705-034, 705-032. And what is your relationship with Leslie Contreras Valenzuela?
Just, acquaintance. We're not, I don't talk to you.
There's to be no contact with Leslie Contreras Valenzuela. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. And Bashan, with that, you can do the rainbows one. After you complete parenting classes, the court will deem the community service hours to be satisfied. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month for 3 months, and then at probation's discretion. And we're going to do 30 sober meetings in 30 days. Your court costs in this case are approximately $325. Are you able to pay that in installments? All right. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No.
Anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You have put your children in not a good place. You know why that is? Because their father has probation as a felon. I don't think any of your children that were born were saying, hey, I would love to have a father who has a felony probation. So you're going to have to do better, because you know how children learn? By looking at and mimicking what other people do. And if you don't want your children to end up coming into a felony court on charges, telling that judge, well, you know, I had a hard life, my father kept picking up felony charges, then you had better change your life. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And since you're living with your parents, guess what? Parents' rules. If they want the television off at 10, then television goes off at 10. If they want you in the house at 10, guess what? You're in the house at 10. Until you get your own place where you're paying your own bills, their rules apply. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, in this court, if there's an issue and you feel like probation isn't addressing it, you can always come back to the court and I will see what we can do. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.